The Indian Army has rarely spoken so loudly without uttering a word. And in exercise Ram Prahar, it delivered perhaps its clearest message from the Western Front in recent years, not through speeches or press conferences, but through a powerful demonstration of what it can actually do on the battlefield. What happened in the deserts and plains under Kharga Corps was not just another military exercise, but a carefully planned signal about capability and intent along our border with Pakistan. The numbers tell part of the story, with over 20,000 soldiers organized into battle groups that can fight independently, suggesting that the army is moving away from old defensive tactics toward a more aggressive approach that can strike on multiple fronts at once. This is not the army that waits behind borders anymore, but one that is ready to take the fight into enemy territory if provoked. The scenario itself, a cross-border offensive in response to a Pakistani attack, makes clear that India is no longer content with merely defending its borders, but is prepared to hit back hard and fast. What makes Ram Prahar different from past exercises is how everything worked together like a well-oiled machine. Tanks like the T-90S Bhishma and upgraded T-72 with night vision capabilities worked alongside artillery guns like the K-9 Vajra and Pinaka rocket launchers that can hit targets 90 kilometers away. The army showed it could cross deep rivers under fire using special bridge-laying tanks that can set up a 20-meter bridge in less than 4 minutes while enemy guns are firing at them. Special forces were dropped at night from heights of 25,000 feet deep behind enemy lines, showing that Indian forces can strike anywhere, not just at the border. But the real story is not about tanks and guns alone, but about how technology has changed warfare itself. The exercise used drones by the dozens, from surveillance platforms to swarms of 50 Kamikaze drones that can attack targets on their own, alongside systems that can jam enemy drones and shoot them down. The time between spotting an enemy target and firing at it was reduced to just 5 minutes using computers and artificial intelligence that help commanders make faster decisions. Electronic warfare units jammed enemy communications across multiple frequencies while keeping Indian networks secure, and cyber teams practiced attacking enemy command centers digitally. Modern war is no longer just about who has more soldiers or bigger guns, but about who controls the invisible world of communications, satellites, and computer networks. The army demonstrated it could move, strike hard, and hold ground inside enemy territory within 72 to 96 hours, showing a strategy built on speed and shock rather than slow, grinding advances. This matters because in today's world, with television cameras and international pressure, military victories must come quickly before diplomacy forces everyone to stop. It reflects lessons from recent conflicts, where hesitation costs more than decisive action, and where the side that acts fastest often wins, regardless of overall strength. Equally important is that most of the equipment used was made in India, from Dhanush howitzers to indigenous bridges to homegrown Kamikaze drones. This means India can fight a sustained war without depending on foreign suppliers who might refuse to send spare parts or ammunition during a crisis. The presence of some imported systems like Apache helicopters alongside Indian equipment shows a practical approach that uses the best available technology while building our own industrial base. When Western Command leadership validated that Kharga Corps can launch high-speed armored attacks across rivers, forests, and cities in all kinds of combat conditions, it was more than just approval, but confirmation that plans on paper have become battlefield reality. The exercise sends an unmistakable message that anyone planning aggression along our western border should understand the consequences have changed fundamentally. Any future attack will not be met with patient restraint, but with immediate, crushing force designed to inflict unacceptable damage before the aggressor can even fully mobilize. In an age where actions speak louder than words, where military strength must be demonstrated, not just claimed, the Indian Army chose to show rather than tell. It displayed an offensive capability built on indigenous technology, networked warfare, and the ability to strike deep and fast. The message to Pakistan and to the world is crystal clear. India is no longer a reactive power satisfied with defending its borders, but a nation ready and able to punish aggression with overwhelming force. Exercise Ram Prahar was not just a military drill, but a declaration of strategic intent. And perhaps the most important aspect is that it required no accompanying explanation because the capabilities on display spoke for themselves.